is finally starting to feel like fall.
Which means time to bring on the fall flavors. Here to cook up a storm is meteorologist Jacob Dickey. Okay, well, I think the #1 thing that you use in fall is a crock pot. So, of course, and Jacob Dickey. So
I use a crock pot. Spring, summer, fall, winter, though. But you get the crock pot going. You get those fall flavors to really start to just, they do some chocolate in the crock pot.
Yeah, they do.
When you're ready to eat, they're ready to be there with you. So.
Okay, so usually when you think of fall, you think pumpkin spice.
That's true.
So what other flavors do you consider
Well,
fall?
do you know what the recipe that I have here is called? Did you see the name?
Soup.
Yeah, it's Boeuf bourguignon, which is a French, that's probably terrible French. Pardon my French, as they say. It is beef stew with red wine sauce.
This sounds like a Julia Child.
It is actually a very close to Julia Child's recipe. It's a little bit adapted. Julia Child's, though, French cook. Of course, you can't go wrong with any of her recipes. But sometimes it takes a little effort, so I wanted to consolidate it down to let the crock pot do most of the work for us. Still, though, it takes a little work ahead of time. Why don't I walk you through those first steps here? We've got some video that we can show you. First thing I do is you need some oil because you want to sear your meat, the beef in there. I actually cook a little bacon. I added a little bacon in there. That's my little thing. And I use that bacon grease then to sear my outside of my chopped up
steak?
Chuck roast. And so I chopped it. You can just get the stew meat at the store or buy the chuck roast whole and just dice it up there. And so I tossed it in that to brown the outside, to kind of caramelize the outside a little bit in that bacon grease. Left the grease behind. Bacon went in the crock pot. Once we were done with that, threw that in the crock pot.
Look at that bubble. Wow.
That is a nice red wine sauce there that's added. You take all those drippings, put the red wine in. Now I'm adding some chicken broth. I'm also going to add in some other seasonings into that. I'm going to add in some tomato sauce and also a little bit of soy sauce, or you can use the, tamari?
Oh, yeah.
Tamari, you can use that if you're going for the gluten-free.
Yeah,
and then add that in. We're putting all my vegetables in there. Now, a classic beef bourguignon, as Julia Child says. It's got usually onion.
I feel like you're burping.
I need to be like, you're mumbling the second half.
Yeah. Beef bourguignon is, I think, how you say it. It usually has like onion, mushrooms, carrots, potatoes. You can use all, some, any. I did carrots, potatoes, and I did mushrooms in mine. And with that, so you can kind of see the mixture there. We're going to eat it later, of course. But it's been simmering in there for about 6 to 8 hours, low and slow, maybe a little longer if needed. I put my strips of bacon in there as well. So they're all in there cooking together. They've been talking and chit-chatting and getting to know each other really well in the crock pot.
What do you think the bacon would say to the beef, Jacob?
Ooh.
Well, I mean, if the bacon looked at the beef, he'd be like, what's your beef? Come on.
Oh,
wow. Of course, right?
Okay.
Or quit hogging the space. That's what the beef says back to the bacon.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry I asked, Grace.
Okay, so fall flavor. We talked about the fall flavor and the fall seasoning. We want some thyme in there. We want a little of that in there. Also, some garlic in there is going to go really good. And then we're going to top it off with a little bit of parsley. That thyme and beef and red wines. You've ever had a beef red wine sauce sort of stew. You know that smell. It's a nice fall flavor. Yeah. And red wine as well. I just had an old bottle that hadn't been opened, probably a little past due. If you got an old bottle of red wine, don't throw it out. Save it for things like this or mix it in vegetable dishes because it adds a world of flavor to your recipe.
Well, good tip there.
If you don't like red wine,
you can just get one of those. I mean, you can get one of those. This here is, I think, one of those. It's just a blend. I mean, there's nothing special about it.
Maybe a beef broth. Just keep it simple.
Yeah, you can do beef broth as well. I think you're going to like the way the red wine tasted this, though. It's, first off, the alcohol's cooked out of it, so there's none of that in there. But also, it just adds a nice full flavor to it that really the thyme and the garlic are going to complement each other very well with that. So I think you're going to like it here. We got to let it do our TV magic 6 to 8 hours or 20, 30 minutes.
They've got more talking to do, obviously.
Yeah, they got some more chit-chat.
Yeah, some more talking to do.
We will let them do that.
Okay, recipe on your Facebook?
It will be going up on my Facebook after the show, and then I'll be eating this as well.
As will we.
We'll let you guys.
Okay, he'll put it on his Facebook page. We, of course, will share it on CILiving.tv as well. There's a look where you can connect with Jacob, and we'll have the big reveal coming up.